The Vietnam War. The Vietnam War, also known as the Second Indochina War, was a prolonged and bloody conflict that lasted from 1959 to 1975. It was fought between the Communist forces of North Vietnam, supported by China and the Soviet Union, and the government of South Vietnam and its main ally the US. The war was a part of the Cold War, a global ideological conflict between the Western world, led by the United States, and the Eastern Bloc, led by the Soviet Union. The war began in 1959 when the North Vietnamese began a guerrilla campaign against the South Vietnamese government, which was seen as corrupt and oppressive. The United States, which became increasingly involved in the conflict, with President John F. Kennedy sending military advisors to South Vietnam in 1961. By 1964, the US had deployed over to half a quarter of a million troops to South Vietnam, and the war has escalated to a full-scale conflict. The war was brutal and devastating, with both sides committing atrocities. The US used napalm and Agent Orange, which caused widespread destruction and health problems, whilst the North Vietnamese, the Viet Cong, the communist forces in South Vietnam, used guerrilla tactics and terrorized civilians. The war was highly controversial, with many Americans questioning the US involvement, and the draft was in place to fill military ranks. Despite the US military superiority, the war was a stalemate, with neither side being able to achieve a clear victory. The Tet Offensive in 1968, in which the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese launched a surprise attack on the South Vietnamese and US forces, was a turning point in the war. The offensive showed that the Communist forces were still strong and the war was not going to be won easily. Despite the US military superiority,